Enchanted Mesa. So that's back in Ul'dah again. Yeah, so of all the overhauled dungeons in the most recent round of overhauling dungeons, I think that I can understand it had interesting mechanics. I just think that they were slow. That was the issue. Like, all of the mechanics in that dungeon just prolonged fights. They didn't really have much in the way of actual difficulty levels. They just made fights longer. Ah, the Conqueror of Copperbell returns. Now, like, it... The issue was they were fun to figure out, but once you figured it out, they were just unnecessarily delays. It was all delay mechanics, and there was no way to shortcut the delay mechanics. Like, if you could do something to spawn the bomb faster, I would have hated that version less. But all you could do was sit there and wait for like the 30 seconds or so it took to spawn. And as a DPS, or honestly as a healer, there was nothing to do. So 3 of the 4 members of a party are doing absolutely nothing for a boss fight that takes 2 to 3 minutes and is impossible to make shorter. It was the delay mechanics that bothered me. I would love to see more interesting mechanics. I just think if you're going to have a mechanic like that, there needs to be a way to spawn the bomb. It can't just be a timer. Thanks to you, our mining operations can resume, and Ul'dah will have the materials she needs to rebuild. The entire nation's in your debt, friend. Share the good times with Papashon the next time I see him. As for you, you'll want to report to Miqo'te. It'll do the woman well to see you alive and in one piece. But this is this is a solo duty. Someone's gonna... No! Okay, let's go fight. Ah, this little asshole. Shut your mouth, you thieving little swine. You stole from me. Don't even try to deny it. Please, sir. I didn't steal nothing. I bought this. Paid for it with my own coin. What rot. You refugees are all the same. Couldn't afford maggoty mole meat, much less a choice cut of dodo. Going to say it one more time. Give me back what you stole, or I'll make you wish you'd never set foot in this town. By rights, I should turn you over to the brass blades, you know? Help keep the streets safe for law-abiding citizens. But I'm a reasonable man. If you agree to serve me in whatever capacity I require, the authorities needn't hear of your crime. Shitbag. Shitbag. But I ain't done nothing wrong. 12 is me witness. I take great joy in punching this guy in his face. Please, adventurer, help me. I beg of ye. swear on me mother's grave I didn't steal nothing. Bought this with the coin I'd saved. I wanted to treat me children to a decent meal. Can I fight them now? Doo-doo-doo. Let's go! And who the hells are you when you're at home? This dog's master? I've had enough of this mummer's farce. You lot, teach them a lesson. There's only going to be one person learning a lesson here, and it is not me. Unless that lesson is how to beat up shitbags. But I think I already know that lesson. This dude's kind of tanky. I ain't getting paid enough for this. Hey, where the hells do you think you're going? Thank ye, kind adventurer. Thank ye thrice over. Ah, good old crystal overdose. Swear there were more refugees than when I last looked. And you wouldn't be mistaken. It's been 5 years since the calamity. Why are they only now coming here? Simple, really? Well, a number of hamlets survived the immediate aftermath of calamity. Many were no longer able to support their communities. Residents found their lands had either been rendered barren or cut off from trade routes, and problems like those aren't easily solved. Though they tried to make the best of it, it was only a matter of time before they were forced to abandon their homes and seek a new life in the city. I see. But the calamity affected the whole realm, didn't it? Same thing happening in the other cities? Talk is true, yes. Though perhaps our situation is more pronounced. Ul'dah has a reputation for being prosperous, so it's natural that the refugees would try their luck here first. Heart goes out to them, it truly does. But I would be lying if I said that I wasn't apprehensive. Hope their presence doesn't foment lawlessness in the city. Things do take a turn for the worse. We always have the immortal flames. Say the brass blades would welcome their help. Heroes who fought the Garlean Empire, patrolling the streets for riffraff? It may well come to that. Impoverished and desperate as they are, you may be sure that some of the refugees will turn to crime. You know what this place is like. If you've no coin, you've no hope. will become of our city? All refugees are bad, mind you. Some are able to find employment and lead honest lives. Dodo tenderloins, get your dodo tenderloins. Guaranteed cheapest in Thanalan. Just some not so subtle racism going on, you know. Thank you for your custom, madam. Please come again. You're on. You'd think that old Da was well on its way to recovery. Peer through the veil of prosperity, and you'll see no end to the misery and suffering. Done peeking into other people's memories for storytelling devices? Sir? Are ye alright? But what now? You mean to threaten a defenseless citizen? I would very much like to punch you in the face, yes. What? Czar buy that meat, you say? That's absurd. Aye, as do I. Leave the poor lemon alone, you damnable vulture. Who said that? Clearly one of those two. Grr, I will overlook this, but just this once. God bless ye, adventurer. If ye hadn't come along when ye did, who knows what the monster might have done. I don't bear thinking about... All's well that ends well. Meet again! Pray do not mistake my intent, for it is always honorable. But I have been watching you ever since you departed Old Da. Played the part of envoy to perfection, confident as a man on a diplomatic mission should be, yet unfailingly courteous to your betters. And when your travels led you into the midst of danger, you faced it without so much as a flinch. You, my friend, are quite a marvel, and I confess to being somewhat in awe of you. Ah, but my lavish praise continues. Most of all, I was struck by your readiness to aid those in need, even when words were all the reward you could expect to receive. Such selflessness is a rare thing in this day and age. All of which leads me to conclude that you are indeed the one whom I have been looking for. An adventurer possessed of a very rare set of qualities. To be sure, your rescue of that damsel in distress was more of a happy accident. But rescue her you did, and that is what matters in the end. What am I, Bob Ross? I feel I should mention at this point that I also harbor a burning interest in a certain talent of yours. Speak of your visions. You have been experiencing visions, have you not? No, it just so happens that I know a woman who shares your talent and can help you understand it. She and I belong to the same organization, and we should both be delighted beyond words if you would agree to join our cause. Naturally, there are benefits to being part of such a collective. For one, we should be glad to assist you in realizing your potential as an adventurer. Do not give me your answer now. Think upon it, and if you feel moved to help us, as I pray you shall, speak with Miqo'te, the ever-lovely and youthful mistress of the quicksand. Tell her the Scions of the Seventh Dawn have found their man, and she will tell you where to find us. Ah, that was just be thaumaturge, which we're not doing yet. Miqo'te, how do I find them? Scenes like that are becoming ever more common, I'm afraid. Don't worry, though. If you work hard, you'll probably be alright. Saying that, if you ever find yourself in a spot of bother, come and see me. Just don't go pestering me every time you graze your knee, eh? Of course, I do enjoy hearing tell of a gentleman's woes with the women folk from time to time. Ah, Archon. Sorry to keep you waiting. I was just providing guidance to a fresh off the carriage adventurer. Gods, it's good to see you safe and well. To look at you, one would ever guess you'd been hard at it with giants in the dark. No one would ever guess you'd been hard at it with giants in the dark. Never doubted for a moment that you'd succeed, of course, and neither did Papa Sean. Which ain't to say he won't be overjoyed. Oh, before I forget, there's a lass here who wants a word with you. Didn't actually know your name, but hearing her description, I knew who she meant right away. Bird, stop thirsting over Papa Sean. Thank you for sparing the time. Realize you don't know me, but I've been longing to speak with you for a while now. My name is Edda. I'm an adventurer like you, though I'm not very good at being one, if truth be told. Anyway, I was adventuring with my friends in Gridania when... I'm sorry. We were in Gridania when the leader of our party was killed. His name was Iver, and he and I were to be wed in the spring. You may not remember him, but to say that he remembered you would be an understatement. Sing your praises from dawn to dusk. He saw you for what you are, you see, an adventurer's adventurer. Swore that he would be like you one day. Believed that he would have succeeded, had a fiend not robbed him of the chance. Since that day, I've thought long and hard about giving up adventuring. I think of the man you are, of all that you've achieved. I find that I am inspired, just as Sever once was. So I've decided to start again as an adventurer. I'll go back to the village of my birth and begin my training anew. I wanted to meet you first, to ask you your name. Archon Shade. Shan't forget. Thank you, Archon Shade. I pray that we will meet again. Fare you well. Venturing can be a cruel bleeding business. Time was, I didn't know why anyone would bother. They first asked me to take charge of the guild here. Didn't want aught to do with you lot. Thought it'd be a right pain in the arse looking after you all. but against my better judgment, I decided to accept the post. So glad I did. I feel privileged to be a part of your lives. That goes double for yours, Archon. Eh? What did you say? You want to know about the scions of the Seventh Dawn? Beginning to move in earnest, then. Listen, Archon. Scions ain't no ordinary folk. The work they do ain't no ordinary work. I know full well how capable you are, but even you would think twice about attempting some of the stuff they do. Knowing that, if you're still certain you want to get involved, I'll tell you what I can. Yes, I would like to know about these people. So you want to know more, then, do you? Well, ain't that a surprise. I swear, if I painted certain death on one door and limitless wealth on another, 9 out of 10 adventurers would go through the first, and the other bloke wouldn't be able to choose on account of being old on. Anyway, don't say I didn't warn you. First of all, if you're wondering whether you can trust these scions of the Seventh Dawn, you can. Good people who've made it their mission to solve some of Eorzea's most pressing problems. Of course, that ain't no small task, so they're always looking for dependable individuals to join them. Individuals like you, Archon. Now, I've been given leave to tell you where to find the scions, but you must promise to keep this information to yourself. As you can probably imagine, it's something Eorzea's enemies would very much like to know. Scions are headquartered in Vesper Bay, out in western Thanalan. The place you're looking for is called the Wakened Sands. Give your name to whoever's at the entrance, and you'll be let in. You're a man in demand, Archon, and the days ahead promise to be busy, but I hope we won't forget your old friend Miqo'te. Drop in and tell me how you're faring from time to time, you hear? Right, well, I've said my piece. Off you go. Pray return to the Waking Sands!